3D is all about the egoic mind and the need for polarity, for something to be good, something to be bad, something to be right, something to be wrong, up, down, good, evil, left, right. That's the mind. That's the egoic mind. And so that's the place of judgment. That's the place of shame. That's the place of guilt. That's the place of attachment, of resistance, of reacting. But the truth is, you are not the mind. You are actually the one that witnesses the thoughts. You are the one that witnesses the body moving through space and time. Your way out and your ascension up will have everything to do with your level of conscious awareness, with your level to put space between the commentary of the mind, between your belief in separation and the belief that you're a body. I say from the level of the mind because the mind is an absolute liar. And the reason I say that is because whatever you experience is, whatever you experience just is. Someone saying, hey, I think we need time apart, it's just someone saying, I think I need time apart. Whether it's in business, someone deciding not to opt into your product and service is just someone deciding not to opt into your product and service. Someone being fired from their job is just someone being fired from the job. The problem comes when the mind adds commentary to what just is. And that commentary can oftentimes be about insecurities, about we're not good enough, no one believes in you. It's the commentary of the mind that makes an experience bad or good. Because again, the mind is all about polarity. The 3D reality, where mind is predominant, is all about polarity. It needs to identify with a position of good or bad, right or wrong, etc. So it gives commentary to every experience, or to whatever experience, or to whatever just is, to match what it believes and what it has identified with as it relates to things like shame, guilt, low self-worth, insecurities, great, low self-esteem. Those will be the filters through which every experience will be interpreted. So what someone says or what someone does will more times than not be translated through that belief system, through that programming, through that conditioning. So no matter what someone says, no, I didn't mean it that way, that will be the way that it will be believed. And then the ego's attempt to protect its identity, it will respond and react in such a way because it knows its vulnerability. It knows its weakness. And so it has to strengthen itself in some experience or in some reaction so that it doesn't lose its identity. Feel free to rewind that part. As we move from the chaos of this 3D reality, which is really best summed up as a fear and survival based reality. Love is just really a mask that fear puts on that we call love. This 3D reality is dominated by masking our fears and doing everything we can to survive, and that the mind creates these mental constructs, doing everything it can survive, doing everything it can to survive and protect who we believe ourselves to be, which is a lie, a story that the ego tells. The ascension is all about transcending the 3D reality, passing through the fourth dimension, which is time and space, to the 5D reality, which is all about consciousness, awareness. It is all about being the witness, which I absolutely love. And this is, along with this free group, I have a paid group. And in the paid group, they will be experiencing more deeply this truth. You've never ever suffered. Your true self, the self that exists in 5D, has never ever experienced pain. It has witnessed your 3D false self witness pain, but that 3D false self isn't even real because the mind isn't real. The body isn't real. This is why, to get into that group, you really have to be somewhat versed in this, but the mind isn't real. The body isn't real. It's all part of a waking dream, similar to when you are in your sleeping dream. You see mom and them, you see your cousin, you see some purple dragon. It feels real, but when you awaken, you realize, oh, it wasn't real. What you are experiencing now in the 3D is just the waking dream, and you see that more clearly in 5D. Oh, this isn't real. There is no such thing as suffering. There's no such thing as lack. 5D is where you collapse time and recognize that the stuff that you desire, the outcomes that you've wanted to experience, are there. In the 3D, we're working to get it. We're chasing after it. In the 5D, it chases after us. Why? Because as conscious awareness, you are creating reality through the mind in 3D. In other words, whatever the mind is saying is true, your true self, your fifth dimensional self, who does not hold the judgments that the 3D false self does, just goes, okay, we'll sign off on that. Because if I, as the false self, agree to it, then my 5D self, or my true self, doesn't go, hey, that's not what you want. That's not what you want. It goes, okay. So our fifth dimensional true self has the ability to create and manifest more perfectly the life that you desire. So the question is, how do I get into that space? That is what this group is all about. That is what I will be coming on every Tuesday at this time talking about. And really, because this will also go out to my YouTubers, if you want to work with me one-on-one, even if you're inside this group and you want to work with me one-on-one, or you want access to the paid group, which is just $97 a month, and you're mature enough for the deeper truths, and the deeper truths really go into understanding more deeply that nothing has ever happened to you. What you believe is happening or has happened to you is happening to a me that does not exist. It is where you understand that what you experience in the waking dream is just something that has arisen, something that is just happening, but that you're not doing it. You're not a participant in it. It is something that's just arisen. It's just something that's happening. Life is just happening. Breath is just breathing. Heart is just beating. Blood is just flowing. Experiences are just happening. And it's about how you, as the witness, as conscious awareness, as the most powerful force in your reality, can now create and manifest more perfectly what it is that you want to experience. But I want to leave you with two things. Especially if you're going through your own dark night of the soul, your own spiritual awakening, the egoic mind wants to resist. Because the spiritual awakening, dark night of the soul, is all about the death of the ego. And not literal death, because the ego does serve a purpose, but it's really you now mastering your ego, you mastering your emotions, you mastering your thoughts. Moving away from the ego's need to control situations, to make things happen, and moving to a place of surrender. In my paid group, Ascension University, I show you the two specific things that almost stopped all the stretched out crying, all the pain, all the hurt, even when experiences would come up that may have been a trigger before, being able to respond more powerfully to them. It's really centered around those two processes. So no matter what time you may be coming into and watching this video, whether you're watching it on YouTube or whether you're watching it inside my group, if you are in that space and you're like, James, this is just too much, get inside the paid group, start implementing those things immediately. It won't take you out of your dark night. It won't take you out of your spiritual awakening. But man, you will be able to navigate it much more easily instead of having those impulsive reactions that just take you away, to just take you out, that has you sprawled out on the floor, that has those emotional, just crying at any moment. You got to pull your hat down over your face because it just comes over you in that really painful process that can be a part of spiritual awakening and the dark night of the soul. And really, not going to say the ascension process now becomes easy, but it becomes easier because at least you set that part aside. So the two things I want to leave you with, if you are on your spiritual awakening journey, if you are ascending from 3D to 5D and passing through that fear and survival, those low vibratory frequencies of guilt, shame, and all of that, which is required to pass from the 3D to the 5D. If you're in that space between the 3D and the 5D and you're experiencing all of those strong, powerful, emotional frequencies and vibrations and what we call feelings or sensations, surrender. Surrender, surrender, surrender. Feel it all. If you gotta stretch out, stretch out. If you gotta be in some dark room in the corner, sitting on top of some tables, so be it. Do not resist. It just prolongs it. And there's a saying that what you resist persists. Surrender to the fact that I am on a spiritual awakening journey, and this is not going to be pretty. That's just what it is. The second thing is set your intention to always do that which is going to give you the most peace. Peace or love has to be your highest priority. So if I can't go somewhere, if I can't do something, if I can't connect with somebody, then that's what I have to do, because I have to protect my energy. I have to always reach for what is most peaceful, what's going to bring me the most peace. If I got to just be in my room 24 hours just bawling my eyes out, and that is a more peaceful solution than going to hang out, then so be it. So be it. So always set your intention for what's going to bring you the most peace, and surrender. The next time I show up, I'm going to share maybe 4 or 5 more processes that's going to help you on your ascension journey. And can at times lead to a bliss and a joy that you did not think was possible. So this group, Awakening to Love, is all about me sharing. You're also part of my journey, but it's also about me sharing. Again, if you want to get inside of the paid group, where now you can ask me directly questions inside of a group container, or even if you want to work with me one-on-one, just click the link below to make that happen. Maybe we can have a little 15-minute talk about, are you ready for those next levels? And we can absolutely go from there. Thank you for allowing me to be transparent. Thank you for allowing me to be vulnerable. I just want to remind you again that what you're going through is not about the details. Whether you've lost somebody, whether you've had to go through a breakup, whether you've lost something like a job, or whether there's some conflict in some family or romantic relationship or friendship, or you just had something overcome you, it's not about the details. That is just the experience that the divine and the universe created to bring you into the place that you are now. And as it brings you into the place, it will bring you through the place. And even the people who may rail against you, who may judge you, who may have abandoned you, who may talk about you, they are only playing the role that you agreed for them to play. Just as you agreed on this experience before you got here. As you make it through, you will watch all of that dissolve. They're only come to play the part that you've assigned them to play. Whether they've left, transition, whether they're judging you, that's what you agreed on. That's the role that they were to play in your story, to help push you and guide you, and to some extent even drive you into this preordained place of power. You are going through what is necessary for you to step into your greater purpose and your greater power. I am sending you love and light. You got this.